chat.
If it happens.
The whole like intro thing was a bit janky as well. The computer's playing up today.
Shall I go and have a look?
No, it'll be working. They'll tell us very, very quickly if it's not working, Jay. It'll be working. Mine's definitely working. It's yours that I didn't check.
Blah, blah. Well, it's got a thing on there, so it's saying it's working.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're finally back with the Liam and Jay show.
Yeah. Blame the estate agents.
You know what happens when an estate agent says, so I messaged the estate agents and said, our aircon that didn't cost us 120 grand, our aircon has got a filter needs cleaning logo thingy on it.
It has been since we got here.
No, it happened about 2 months after we got here. And then last week, when we had the ridiculously hot weather, I was like, I should probably get those filters done, actually. So I phoned up the estate agents, like, we need to get our air conditioning filters done. Is there any chance you can get that organised, because they do the servicing for the building? She was like, yeah, of course. So when's convenient? I was like, any day is fine apart from a Wednesday. So what about Tuesday? So Tuesday's fine, but it needs to be after midday.
Carl Hodge says I'm muted.
Yeah, of course, he says that all the time, Joe. It has to be after midday because we don't turn up till midday, and then we are live between 1:30 and 3. We are live between that time. She's like, no worries, I'll get it organised. They turned up at 1:20.
Yeah, great timing.
And I was like, surely it's just a 10-minute job. No. This is why we're 45 minutes late, chat.
Yeah.
Because it's a 45-minute job.
Yeah.
Right. Mike's good, intro is whack. The winter is all over the place. Yeah, I saw that. Sometimes it does it. It's the graphics card struggles a little bit.
Anyhow.
Where's the chairs? I was going to do a chair stream today from the chairs again because the Thanes were whinging recently that these streams are less personal with chat. We see less comments, we don't engage so much. That's why we get less memberships, because we're doing the hobbying streams instead. That's what he told me. That's what Thanes told me last week, Jay.
I've found that people just give you money if not at work.
But people can give you money if you just spend a weekend at Wine World. However, I actually thought that, well, when I turned up, Joe's already got models out. I was like, okay, Joe wants to hobby. Joe's in the hobbying mood. Yeah. So we're hobbying, I'm afraid.
I played with toys this weekend. I want to build more toys.
Joe is keen. So I'll try and keep more of an eye on chats today because people were critical that we didn't see some of the little jokes, right? But I'll try and keep more of an eye on chat, you fucking beautiful human beings. But we're here, we're ready for a stream. And Games Workshop announced today there is a preview show. And shockingly, Joe, it's not at 2 o'clock in the morning for us.
That blew my mind, by the way.
I know.
I was like, they've changed. Do you reckon it's because they watch this show or more than just us complain?
So if we don't tell chat, I secretly think it's just because it's what's worked this time. But what we'll tell them is it's because of us.
Yeah.
Because they watch our shows. So we'll tell them.
Okay.
Right? So what I thought we'd talk about today, we don't know. We get codexes early, we get box set early, etc. We don't actually get information on what's on the preview shows early. We don't get that. It's not something that happens. So I figured today we would talk about what we want to see on the preview show. We saw some cool preview stuff yesterday for new Blood Angels things.
Yeah.
Spoiler, controversially, there is a Blood Angels model that Joe isn't a fan of. We'll talk about that more in a moment. But actually, more importantly for today's show, which is the Liam and Joe AoS show, I thought we'd talk about AoS releases. And the stream says the first new reveals for 4th edition.
Yeah.
Or something akin to that, I can't remember. It was so long ago that I scheduled it now, I can't remember what it says.
But, yeah, I think if they're going to reveal anything, I think they have to reveal more than Skaven and Stormcast.
Do you think they'll reveal Stormcast? Because they revealed the new Stormcast. They revealed some new Stormcast models a while ago.
Wingman and Big Blobby Blob. The Mr. Blobby, the
Blobbyson.
The Warhammer Widow just got a gifted membership.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Lou's got membered. Yeah.
So
first time this week.
I think to keep the hype going, they need to maybe go. The next 2 books are after Stormcast and Skaven are ... And then they go, here's the models for that, because then you're creating the hype train, you know.
Well, so today they actually released a roadmap for 40k.
Yeah.
Which we've been screaming for ages. They actually released a roadmap for 40k. They showcased a ton of 40k codexes coming out in the coming essentially year.
Yeah.
But they put it in the autumn, winter, spring, summer nonsense rather than an actual month, which I get. It gives them a bit more flexibility. So they've done that. I'd like to see something similar for AoS now. with indexes, I'd like to see a roadmap for AoS codexes. Without doubt, we're going to see new Skaven stuff. I'll be interested to see whether it's new Skaven stuff, whether it's refreshed old stuff that's now got new sculpts.
I imagine
A bit of both, maybe?
I reckon we might get a couple new models, but then just refreshed old ones. Because like I think AoS is going down a more streamlined book way. I think AoS wants to have many factions, but less model or less boxes to buy per faction.
Okay.
You know, because then it means you could buy, because there's less models on the table. Give them a good selection of good choices that they can pick from, instead of like how Stormcast was in the end of third, where there was like 175 million different unit choices, and they all kind of did the same thing.
Yeah, they had the suffer from the Space Marine problem, didn't they?
Yeah. So I think,
which Space Marines arguably still suffer from to a point.
Yeah. So I think what I'd like to see is they go, here's the next 2 books. Badum badum, you know?
Badum badum.
Badum badum. I don't know what the next took, but I couldn't even guess.
Night Haunt, Lumineth, I'd be happy then.
Well, the thing is though, you've got chaos and order, so it makes sense to them to go destruction
and death.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because then you go, here's 1 for each one.
You're probably right. I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Oh, the roadmap going around social media, I thought Games Workshop hadn't confirmed this.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know.
Not sure.
We won't say what's on it.
Well,
Blood Angels are on it.
Yeah. Sorry, you're right as well, by the way. You are right, Tal Melissa. Battle Tome, not Codex, Jay.
Sorry. Yeah. Selfishly, if they're going to do a death one, I want to be Soulblight Gravelords.
I would be okay with it being Soulblight Gravelords.
Because I need them to replace Graveguard as a kit. Because Graveguard were good in the last edition, they're good now.
Well, didn't you tell your mate Chris how to make a nice Graveguard kit anyway?
I did, but the thing is though,
Your new best friend in the world.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm jealous.
and he's done my idea, it looks really good, and a lot of people have stolen my idea. And now, being the hipster that I am, I can't do it because everyone else is doing it. So I started this train, didn't do it quick enough, and now everyone's already on it. So now I need to wait for the new book to come out.
Yeah, okay.
And then be like, oh, we might get new models. I either want new Graveguard or I want a specific vampire unit on foot, like in cool armor.
Night Haunt and Aurochs would be okay as well.
Yeah.
I think Night Haunt. I'll throw this out there now. My death army is Night Haunt, right? If they throw a battle tome out for Night Haunt early, that could cause them problems because Night Haunt currently a bit broken.
Very good. Yeah. So
I actually had a conversation with one of the AoS rules writers yesterday at Warhammer World.
Oh yeah. Not planned.
Not planned. No, he was walking through he was walking through their gaming hall. Yeah. I was in the gaming hall with my brother and his nephew. Nephew.
You were in the toilet waiting for them, weren't you?
And we exchanged glances. We embraced. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
There were birds tweeting.
Which one was it?
The long-haired one.
Mr. Bracken?
I don't know if we're allowed to say names, Joe. That's why I said the long-haired one. I remember names better than you do.
Cool. You saw a man at Warhammer World
I saw Mr. Bracken at Warhammer World.
He has a name.
Fucking Jesus Christ. And I was talking to him about, because when I quote people, I don't want them to be like, you motherfucker, you put my name to that. Oh. That's why I don't use names normally. Because I like to
That makes sense. Yeah, I get that. I understand now.
Working with the pros today, chat. And I was talking to him about things like Night Haunt and stuff. He's like, yeah, we're aware they're a bit cracked. They're not mental, but they are a bit cracked.
Yeah, they just need to calm the F down a bit.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, right? And he was like, we're already talking about how we do that and how we fix that, and we think we're pretty confident that can be like pulled back in. He said, the thing is, they're not in a place where they can't be beaten. They can definitely be beaten.
Well, my mate went 4-1, so it means that someone beat him.
Exactly. So they're aware of those issues, but I was like, how do you feel like it's gone? He said, we're very pleased. Yeah. I was like, well, Joe and I think the game is fucking incredible.
Yeah. I saw another designer. I won't say his name.
No, I wouldn't. No, that's a good idea.
On Friday when I was at Warhammer
How is
World.
Ben?
And I was like, it's the best game you've ever made.
Yeah.
You know? And I loved it, and it was great. And we talked about the things. We talked about manifestations.
Did you embrace as well? Did you hug?
No, because he was on the other side of the table. He was stood next to Steve. So I was like, no, I can't reach you to touch you.
Okay.
But I was like,
What did you say about manifestations? Because we didn't actually talk about manifestations.
Well, I said that a lot of the noise coming out from the internet, the louder voices on the internet about manifestations are generally people who haven't played the game yet.
Maybe, yeah.
And it's like, or like they've had a bad experience, but like I don't think manifestations are that broken. Because there are ways around. If you know how to deal with them, they're quite easy to deal with. And often people that do use them,
I feel like
tend to.
Here's the thing, Joe. I feel like a couple of things, right? The first thing I feel like manifestations have got more chance of becoming tedious than broken. And people just get a bit bored of, cool, so you just put out a purple sun again, great, okay, whatever. Right? People just get bored of it rather than it being actually broken.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think when people figure out manifestations in this edition, I think that they become less broken very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And people's picks. So at the moment, we played with manifestations with Mikey when he was down on that Tuesday. And how many times did one of us roll to banish a manifestation instead of cast one of our own spells? Or did we try and dispel? And that's the thing, right? If you go, okay, I've got my mastery level, my power level is 3.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable that I'm actually going to cast maybe 2 spells and we're trying to attempt to banish one.
Yeah.
Right? If you start playing the game that way, at the moment everyone wants to do their own cool spells.
Yeah.
Right, that's what they want to do because it's their own cool spells. I want to do my own cool spells. I don't want to waste time banishing. I want to do my own cool spells. So they're not using the banishing mechanic and stuff like that. But that being said, incredibly inexperienced with AoS. We've played a few games on stream, so I'm okay to be wrong to people that know more. People like Rob, for example, who you hung out this weekend, who just knows more about AoS than I do. So he's more connected to the competitive community.
Like you can shoot manifestations, you can stab them. You know, they are killable, and there are ways of getting rid of them. And also, some people go a bit nuts with them, and then they end up move blocking themselves.
Yeah.
So then they can't do anything.
Kai, I see what you're saying. I won't engage with that unless you spend money for it. You know, keep it on theme.
Talking about people spending money.
Yeah.
Thank you, Evan Tomanello, for 1 gift of membership.
Thank you, Evan. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brendan, like I say, for 5 gift of membership.
What a hero.
I hope that the plastic glue that you use next dries relatively quickly and doesn't just slowly just fall sideways and then drop off. I fucking hate it when that happens. Thank you, Jill. Says, tried to do 6.5, but wouldn't let me.
You know what that's in reference to, Joe? You figured that out?
Yeah. Subtle. Yeah. Thank you, Krabby's Panda. Joe, did you watch last night's stream? Thoughts on HR, Liam, and the like? No, I didn't watch the stream last night, no.
The Thanes are very complimentary, Joe, of me last night. There was a lot of super chats reference a specific thing that's going on at the moment by a specific person in a specific space. And I refrain from commenting, despite having...
That is unlike you.
Despite having many, many opinions, I refrain from commenting. And the Thanes are like, oh, Joe would be proud of PR, Liam.
Not HR, Liam.
Whatever, fuck it. Yeah, same, is it? PR, HR? Same, but different?
Well, HR's more human resources if I need to complain about your behaviour.
No one needed to complain about my behaviour last night, Joe. I was very well behaved.
I don't believe that.
I didn't say a word.
I am surprised by that. Because normally I feel like I have to apologise to people for things that you say.
You don't ever have to apologise for
like
things
an
I
apologist.
say. If I say it, it's because I mean it.
I know.
So you but
I also want to keep our relationship with Games Workshop.
If Games Workshop ever cancelled our support because of something I've said or something I've done, well, something I've done is a bit different. Because something I said where I criticise their product, it says a lot more about them than it says about me, Joe.
It depends on what you say. Done it, I suppose. What if you were wrong? What if you were...
They left one of those aircon units off. Oh. I was like, it's a bit warmer in here than normal. And that's because one of the aircon units is off. The aircon, that didn't cost us 120 grand. Right, anyway.
It costs more than that to put aircon in. Anyway, right, thank you, Rossonero, for 20 gifted membership.
20, Rossonero?
20.
On a Tuesday, in this economy.
I know. With your reputation. Thank you.
You can stay in a terrible hotel.
Yeah. I hope, Rossonero, that that the next codex that gets announced to be released is the army that you play. Obviously after Blood Angels, because that's kind of obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, Blood Angels. Well, Imperial Agents is next strictly.
Well, after Imperial Agents and most likely Blood Angels, after that, your army.
Yeah,
all
that'd
right?
be nice, wouldn't it?
Thank you, Luke, 87, for 1 gift of membership.
Thank you, Luke. Love you.
Thank you, Woodox, 85, for becoming a Jarl, upgraded all on himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. What an absolute hero.
Jarl tier memberships do get access to a free giveaway every single month. At the end of the month, normally for about a week it runs, so don't worry if you can't see it right now. You'll see the thread. At the end of the month, when it goes live, it will tell you, and then you can just click the enter button, go enter yourself into the Jarls only giveaway. You get access just by being a Jarl tier. It's free just by being a Jarl tier, and then if you get selected at random, you win a combat patrol or spearhead stroke vanguard box of your choosing, whichever one you want.
Whichever one?
Yeah.
What if it doesn't exist?
Well, then you can't
And you
have
make
it,
it up.
you fucking lunatic.
What if you...
Don't
What?
start saying silly things.
What if you want one from that they used to sell but don't sell now?
Playing up to the crowd. Well, we'll see if we can find it.
Oh. What if you want the contents of an old one but separately?
I'm impressed so far that no one's been like, I can just get the Sons of Bahamut one, which costs more.
Well, that's a good point. Isn't the Sons of Bahamut one just 3 big boys? Or 3
It's
little
tsunami,
big,
it is, yeah.
3 little big boys, you know, with little big toys. Thank you, Ginger Steve.
There's a sigh there, Joe. Is he leading into the...
I see some models on the table, but no boxes. Is that because discussing Mr. Box and his fundraising is still off the table? How much is Joe charging for a day of gaming, a curry, and a night in a travel lodge?
Now, you get to stay in the crack car with him outside the front of the studio.
If I was gonna,
You can have nuggies and a monster. That's
where
your
are we
meal.
playing? So I wouldn't like. I'd say if we're gonna have a wonderful day out, right? I'd need the fuel cost to get to Warhammer World. We might as well go play there. 'Cause that's fun.
No,
If we're doing it now,
you've got to use the egos, Joe. Everyone wants to come to our studio, obviously.
yeah, but I want to go to Warhammer World.
I don't care, you went there this weekend. You're not fun going again.
Well, you can come here for free,
No,
right?
coming here is at least worth $2,000 minimum.
Is it?
I didn't say pounds.
Oh.
$2,000 minimum.
Right.
Ruples.
Rubles. Yeah. 2,000 chicken selects from McDonald's. Just put the value on a like a credit card that I can just spend whenever on only chicken selects.
Chicken selects or chicken nuggets?
Select.
You've gone fancy now.
Yeah, I've kind of gone off chicken nuggets, but only McDonald's ones. I really like Burger King ones still. Obviously, you got the popcorn chicken from KFC. That's still good.
You got off McDonald's chicken nuggets?
Yeah.
So if I was to, after the stream, order us McDonald's into the studio and I ordered you chicken nuggets, you wouldn't eat them?
I'd eat them, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
That's a fucking flat lie.
No, there's something about them that taste weird unless they're like fully coated in ketchup. A curry, obviously just whatever the cost of the curry is, and you can put yourself in a travel lodge. Just find the cheapest one.
Steve is supposed to have come down here for ages anyway, Joe. He hasn't bothered, so
No, he's a busy man.
he's not my friend anymore. He's too busy with you and Rob and that. Doesn't care about me anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, you get yourself here, buy yourself a curry, buy yourself a travel lodge, just feed me chicken selects.
Going up in the world. Joe's going up in the world, chat.
Yeah. That's all I require. Oh, and 30 quid fuel. You know, I got to pay my fuel to get to the building. Unless it's the day that I'm already working, you know. And in that case, I'm already here. Thank you, Elec Man. Unfortunately, I can't stick around for too long. If you do some fun reading today on stream, just hit me up on Discord.
Yeah.
Fun reading?
Yeah, he wants to.
What, like
read you,
Cypher's Kane?
still got to read you that Luminef.
Or Flashman?
No, it's the Luminef extract that he's
That's not
paying
fun
for.
reading, though. That's
It is
boring.
fun reading, Joe. Just because you don't think it's fun doesn't make it not fun. That's not how that works. Open your eyes.
Subjectual, isn't it?
Subjectual?
Yeah.
You mean subjective? Is that what you meant?
Same thing, isn't it?
Fucking Jesus.
Thanks, Dave B. Says, I'm slacking off, accidentally missed my bus.
Accidentally on purpose?
Accidentally on purpose. I used to miss the school bus on purpose. So I'd either ride my bike in or get my parents to drive me to school. But that was a long time ago and you're working today.
It's very naughty, Joe.
What?
Very naughty.
Well, I discovered that it was quicker for me to cycle to school than it was to sit on a bus for an hour and a half. Because I lived in deepest, darkest Exmoor.
How long did it take to cycle to school?
About 40 minutes.
Yeah, that is much quicker, isn't it?
Because it was a straight line, whereas the bus went.
Back when you used to be Slim Joe?
Yeah. Well, I was much, much slimmer Joe then. And like 17.
Order from Wingstop. Much nicer chicken and great selection.
We don't have Wingstop here, do we?
Yes, we do in West Keys, Wingstop.
Oh.
There's also Slim Chickens.
Slim chicken. I want a fat chicken, though.
Slim Chickens is supposed to be quite nice as
A
well.
skinny chicken would be really, like, horrible to eat. I want fat chickens. I'm going to start my own place. It'll be called Fat Chickens. You know?
I will fund that place.
Yeah. Simply the breast, I'll call it. Yeah.
I'll fund that place, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm here for this.
Breasts and thighs.
Yeah?
You know, yeah. Simply the breast would be the name of my chicken place. Thank you, John Mercado, for 20 gifted
I
memberships.
love you, John.
Thank you, John.
John says we've got to send in positive vibes, Joe.
Yeah?
He's got a tough week at work, positive vibes.
Yeah. I hope, John, that you get noshed off at work every day. That's positive, isn't it?
I mean, it's probably positive for him immediately, but probably negative for like his marriage and shit.
His wife might do it.
At his workplace.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Perks of management, isn't it?
Okay, yes. I mean, positively.
Yeah, yeah. I hope every day that there is a donut tray in the staff room.
I like that idea.
And
I haven't had a donut tray for ages, Joe. Do you know what,
fucking love
right?
donuts.
There's some significant benefits to being fit and healthy and all that kind of stuff, right? Significant benefits to it. There's also some shit. I haven't had some donuts in ages. I want to eat more shit food and I'm not allowed. I mean, it's a rule I'm imposing
They're
myself.
saying everyone will invest £6.5 in my Simply the Breast.
I'm in.
Yeah. And my logo will be a chicken with massive boobs.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I think 2024 needs more of this.
Yeah. Thank you, Farmer George.
Hey, Farmer George, how's it going, dude?
So hard not diving into AoS with all the positivity around it. Primark dear.
Stop. Stop holding off. Jump in.
Yeah, jump in.
The water is warm.
Both feet face first.
Yep, the water is warm. The game is incredible.
Yeah. Less models on the table. Better rules.
The rule system is very nice and elegant and lots of fun. I am yet to find myself bored of it. Did you want to play tonight? Or do you want me to play to John tonight? I don't mind either way. To be clear.
I can play tonight. I haven't taken the Soulblight out for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We haven't seen Soulblight for a while, but you'd have to lead the stream because John is new.
But he's like, I thought he was a professional.
Yeah, but he was professional for YouTube pre-recorded, not live streaming.
Oh.
You're going to have to be the professional for the live stream.
No, that's a stupid sentence to begin with, isn't it?
No, it's a great sentence.
I
trust you. I believe in you.
I'm not professional.
I believe in Joe. I believe in a thing called Joe.
Why not?
Soulblight.
I will give you all the professionalism that I always bring.
It does mean I'm producing both this Tuesday and Thursday. I don't mind.
Yeah, but I'm not here next week.
Yeah, okay. So do you want to play both? Oh, do you want to have a game of AoS this week then? And I'll play next week. That's
Go on
fine.
then.
Because you can't play next week.
No, I'm house sitting.
Yeah, sitting in a house.
Yeah. Well, I'm on Exmoor house sitting.
They won't let him on the couch though. He's got to do it on the floor.
But, yeah.
Get off the furniture, fucking animal. Thank you, John, for the 20 anyway. You absolute legend. And the other one. Who was the other one for the 20? Was it Rossonero? For the 20.
I don't know.
You read it out.
It was Ross Nara gifted 20.
Thank you, YouTube beautiful.
And then John Mercado gifted 20.
Thank you so much for 20 gifted each, man. This
This guy's missing a fancy hat.
That means we're already nearly at 50 members, or we are over 50. I don't remember. But thank you so much, you beautiful people. In Joe we trust. Yeah, in Joe we do trust.
I met a man this weekend who called me a national treasure. Unprompted, yeah.
Was it Steve?
It wasn't. No, John never calls me a national. No, Steve never calls me.
You can't get your sugar daddies mixed up, Joe. You need to pick one.
Steve basically said to stop treating him like my dad. But you're around, Steve, so you've already got that. You take an interest in my hobbies. You don't just beat me. Well, he does, but he takes an interest, so that's one up. Thank you, Evan Tominello says, I wish that I could just build my Cruty boys with you guys this morning instead of working. Hope everyone's having a great morning. Thanks for the great shows.
Thank you for turning up to the great shows.
Yeah.
They're not very great if there's no audience.
No. So we need all the people all the time whilst we don't even look at the camera, you know?
And to smash all the buttons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Hey team, wishing you well. Hey there, Matt. How's it going, dude?
So,
when's the saga coming? It's not happening, Kai. It's not happening.
What saga?
You'll have to read the screen, Jake. I'm not saying it out loud. It's not happening. It's not funny. It's not happening.
Funny.
You cheeky bastards.
Yeah. Yeah. So I played Old World this weekend. That's a great game.
We haven't. I mean, okay. We've not really covered the topic of the stream.
What is the topic of the stream?
What did you want to see from the fucking announcements, Joe?
Oh yeah. Is it? I want to see. I told you I want vampires. I want more vampires all the time because vampires are cool.
This is the level of professionalism, chat, that I have to work with.
They don't need any more named vampires. Soulblight Gravelord is quite well endowed.
Do you think AoS and 40k feel different when it comes to named characters?
Yes.
Do you feel
I've said this multiple times.
Do you feel like you have less of a problem seeing an Alariel or a Lucavi in AoS than you do seeing an Abaddon in 40k? And if the answer is yes, why do you think that is?
Because they actually feel like cool, badass characters. Like, they're larger than life. Also, like, when you think in the terms of 40k, right, it's multiple galaxy spanning. It was one galaxy, which is split in half, but multiple kind of collections of planets. There's literally thousands of planets in the universe of 40k. It literally takes like months to travel, like years sometimes in the warp, like an entire year to travel from one place to another place it could take to get there, right? It's huge. And in 40k, like when you play, the idea that like Abaddon's on every planet all the time.
But you have realms in AoS.
You do have realms, but there's only 9 realms, 7 realms, 8 realms.
Joe, we have your chicken. Will you give your chicken come in a bucket or a box? Fuck off, Kai. Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
Yeah, a basket.
I'm trying to distract chat from what they're currently going on about, right?
I think the thing is though, the characters are just so much better as well. Like Abaddon's the best character that Chaos Space Marines have, but he's still shit.
I don't think no, I disagree.
Right, he hits like an absolute truck.
But he's defensively shit.
Defensively, just dies kind of thing. And he's very one-dimensional. Just trudge, stab. Done, you know? Like Dante, very similar. Fly, stab. Done.
Okay.
You know? All the characters, you're either an attacking, fighting, buffing character or a standstill buffing character.
Okay.
Whereas in AoS, like you've got the characters that are buffing or go forward and fighting, but they're good at fighting and they don't just drop dead immediately, you know. Or so, like a lot of them have magic powers to buff stuff. It's just
Do you think as well though that the super big characters? So let's take your Nagash, Alariel, Archaon, etc.
Yeah.
Right. They're super impressive. They're super powerful.
Yeah.
Right. They're amazing characters in the rule set in the game of AoS, and they're big named characters as well.
Yeah.
I feel like because of their points value, they're
not going to take them.
They're automatically not an auto take.
No.
There's a reason to take them. 100%. Their rules are very, very good. But they're not an auto take because if you take Archaon, who's the most expensive one I've found so far, right? 890 points for a single model. So yes, you have this absolute monumental, monstrous character beatstick dude who's going to come and fuck shit up.
Yeah.
But you've also spent half your points.
Yeah, and then like because of how little models there are in armies in AoS, the efficiency of your army technically goes down the moment you put a massive model in it, because majoritively there's 4 to 5 objectives on the table, and that one massive guy can only hold one place at a time.
Okay.
I actually think that the sweet spot is about 450 points.
For a character.
For a character. 50 points on either side of 450. You're in a good place for a strong, solid kind of leader character. Anything over that becomes too cumbersome.
So I'm a giant monster hero fucking whore. I would have all of the big characters all of the time.
I like a big leader character, but leading an actual army. That's why I really like things like Laukavai and Talia Vedra. Talia Vedra is a brilliant example of a centerpiece big character monster.
Okay.
Because she's huge. Everything else around her comes on like a...
She's
like
big. Would you call her huge?
She's not huge. Right? She's big. She's the biggest thing in that army by a long way. Right? So she stands above all of it, leading the way. She's a buffing character because she's an officer that can give out orders, but she still hits hard in combat.
Yep.
And then she makes the army better, but if she needs to get stuck in, she can do.
Yeah.
You know? And she won't get killed in just like one round of combat, just flat dead.
I mean, unless she hits like Dirty.
I don't know, because she can make things like Durfu fight last. She has the ability...
Oh, sorry, Talia. Sorry. Oh, yes, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about when he met Laukavai.
Yeah, but I've figured out how to make my characters work more efficiently versus like things like Durfu and stuff, so they don't die super quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think anything bigger than that, like, and also you got to look at things like big elite units in AoS can kill big monsters quite efficiently, like for the same points as a 450 point model, you can have a 10-man unit of angry brutes kind of thing. Like for
would you go as far as to say now that you prefer the flat wound roll?
Yes, much prefer it.
I'd say
because it takes away a part of quick maths, you know? It saves you a bit of thinking.
I'm leaning, from a gaming perspective, I'm leaning towards it now, and it was one of those things I always said it was one of my least favourite things about the rule set.
Yeah.
That being said, from a narrative perspective, I don't like it. Imagine applying it to 40k.
Yeah.
So what's the guardsman's lasgun going to wound on?
Well, it depends on your toughness, doesn't it?
So let's apply it to 40k. So we apply the flat wound roll to 40k.
Well, that's a guardsman's a lasgun is a terrible example because it wounds anything from strength 5 upwards. No, toughness 6 upwards on 6s. So it wounds an aggressor and a warhound titan on the same.
Exactly. So, but also, if you're going to apply a flat wound roll to weapons, and we're going to rebuild 40k, right? And we're going to go. We like the AoS system. We're going to use it. Which, by the way, I'm not suggesting we do this, chat, because I don't think I'd like it. Okay. So we're writing a guardsman. We'll probably say hit on 4s for a guardsman. What's it wound on? 5s?
5s, yeah.
Okay, 5s. So we've applied a flat wound roll to the game.
Yeah.
Guardsman wounds on 5s. Now it wounds the knight on 5s.
Yeah. But then
narratively, I don't like it. Narratively is my biggest struggle with the AoS wound roll.
But then I think you have to apply things like to big monsters, like can't be wounded on anything better than a 4 or something, you know? So anything that is weak. So anything that's like, it can only be wounded between like 2 and like on a 2+, a 3+, and a 4+, you know? So you bring in special rules for high toughness things where only things that wound well can wound it. But currently Games Workshop sat on 3 different wounding mechanics. 4, technically.
For 40k?
For Warhammer across the board. Because you've got Lord of the Rings, which is like pretty much just 5s and 6s. AoS is fixed. 40k is 4s. If it's higher, 5s. If it's double, 6s. And then if you look at something like Old World, 4s if it's the same, 5s if it's 1 higher. Anything 2 higher is 6s until you get doubled out, and then you can't.
That's not just. Is it kind of.
That's heresy as well.
Heresy as well, yeah. It's
Heresy and
old
old world
Warhammer.
work similar, yeah.
It's kind of classic Warhammer wounding, I'd call that.
Yeah. So it's a difficult one. So it saves you a bit of time. I think having complex rules is good, but I think your 2 flagship games need to be similar, so it's easier for one to transport into the other.
Similar, yeah, they are now.
But if Games Workshop wants to go for the all, like AoS is better balanced because it has a flat wound roll.
You think?
Yeah. If they want to do competitive balance.
So you would go as far as to say that it's more balanced because of the flat wound roll.
Yeah,
full stop.
it's easier to manage the units in the game.
Okay. I don't think I completely disagree with that.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably pretty accurate.
But also, by having so say a lasgun wounds on 5s, it won't have a rend kind of thing. Whereas something like a bolt gun that would probably wound on 4s probably does have a rend at that point, you know?
Okay.
Or like a shuriken catapult might still only wound on a 5, but it's AP or rend 1.
Do you know what would be a cool stream one day would be to take a bunch of like 40k weapons or units and try and make them a war scroll.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like, what would a shuriken catapult be? Like, how would you demonstrate its
But
shuriken?
I think it only works if 40k has less units in it.
Yeah. I don't know. 40k is just very different. I feel like when you introduce tanks and war machines and flyers and titans, you have so many variables at play at once in a system that requires you to use a D6.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just too much for a D6 system to cope with.
It's shooting that unbalances it.
I think shooting certainly doesn't help. I agree.
Whereas Age of Sigmar's shooting is much better because the ranges are less and there's less of it.
And it's just fucking bows,
Yeah.
typically. There's a few like handguns and stuff. Obviously.
What I find really weird about 40k players,
I mean, this could be a long list, Joe.
right, of many things I find weird about just wargamers in general, is when 40k players try and apply logic to some things but not others.
Okay.
Right?
What do you mean?
We're guilty of this as well. It's like, why does this tank need air filters when this tank doesn't, you know? Like, they're like, oh, a Space Marine player wouldn't be able to realistically fly because of the weight distribution and the size of its engines.
Right.
But then be perfectly fine of having weird blobby demons that go everywhere. And the fact that Tyranids exist, you know? Like, we argue a bolter should be better for Space Marines because it's in real world terms we know how a 40mm grenade launcher works.
Yep, I agree.
Right, but then we apply logic to Eldar weapons. Ones which literally fires shurikens via the medium of a magnet-powered catapult. One fires needles.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that I apply logic as much as I apply what's been described previously in narrative. That's the thing. I don't want the rule set ever to represent real life, because guess what? It's not real life. I want the rule set to represent the narrative. That's all I've ever cared about. Rule set needs to represent narrative. If the rule set represents narrative, I'm happy. Which way around does that go? Upside down. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I care about.
Strange.
You're strange.
I find it odd. But at the same time, I do often find that having more complex rules allowed for more mental shit to happen.
How so?
So like I told you this example earlier, but this happened to me on the weekend playing Old World. So I was playing against a lovely guy who was playing orcs in Old World, and he moved his entire army forward, basically across the table. I'm going to use these bases as an example. So these represent units, right? He made this lovely long line of units across the thing.
No, if we use units on stream, Joe, we always use fully painted ones.
Yeah, but this is like, think of like Games Workshop Battle Report, you know? Think of like Hellstorm quality, right? He charged across the table, and then my Green Knight, this is a grey one, but imagine he's green, right? He charges a unit here, right? That unit fails a terror test because the Green Knight causes terror, right? And basically, when a unit fails a terror test, it runs directly away in a straight line from the unit that charged it, which meant that his chariot went through his entire army. And the rules for running away means you keep running through units, and you don't get to a unit and stop. You run through units until there is space to be placed, which basically meant that he ran through an entire 4-foot long line of orcs and then ran off the table, which then essentially causes the units he ran through to take a panic check, and then which would then mean that his entire army essentially can run off the table. It didn't, like some units ran away a bit, but they didn't all run off the table. But that's like a cool situation that happens. Basically, an orc's riding along in a chariot, gets spooked by an angry man on a horse that's just appeared out of some woods, and just runs, and with no regard for the rest of the army, just plows through all of his units, and everyone's like, what's going on? And they all run off the table, which can only come about by having a more in-depth rules. Obviously, the books are big and thick, so finding those rules can be a bit annoying, but with that happening, cool shit happens. You know, you don't get stuff like that in AoS because leadership's gone away now. You don't get it in 40k because in 40k leadership is essentially meaningless.
Leadership is better now.
Yeah.
With some of the changes, leadership is better now. But
yeah.
one of the things I've noticed with the removal of battle shock and leadership or anything similar to that in AoS is I haven't missed it. I haven't missed it at all. I feel like leadership is. I feel like leadership will forever be a feels bad mechanic. So in your situation, I have no idea how your opponent reacted.
My opponent thought it was the funniest shit ever.
So that's really good, but I can see that being a feels bad situation.
But
one model pops out from a wood and I lose 500 points in my army.
Well, Josh Lowe,
feels bad.
Are you related to Rob Lowe? The actor. Says, probably not. It says, very fun rules, narrative, but not competitive. And I don't, so people, this is interesting. We had this discussion, and I don't want to offend anyone, right?
Oh, that's from PR Joe. Come on, let's hear it.
From PR Joe, from my experiences over the last year, okay, maybe 8 months,
okay.
Right? From the events that I've played in, my best opponents have been ones that I've played in at Old World events.
Which is interesting because every time you go and you post, I said this as well, and I'll be straight up about this. Every time you go and you post pictures of it into the things, the more pictures you post, the more I think that looks fucking dog shit. I've got no interest.
So yeah, because Old World, because you got to think in historical terms, people would have a pitched battle. The two forces would turn up to an open field to accommodate their armies.
Those terrain look very open field, Joe.
Yeah. And you would have a fight. There'd be some trees and maybe a house and stuff. I'm not about to use my Games Workshop model support. I'm saying good things about Old World. And I think
you can't lose model support for Games Workshop's Old World. They don't fucking supply anything.
Yeah, and it's like the game can be competitive, but it's also inherently imbalanced as well.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing,
right? No, it's not a bad thing. And the people that I've played against at Old World events, they're like, I almost feel like they don't care whether they win or lose. I find that people that turn up to Old World events, they're just there to have a crazy good time. You know, there is a winner, there is a loser. You know, there is a best painted artwork. Well, no, it's not a best painted. It's most cool army. Rob calls it.
Well, we used to do most thematic. It sounds similar.
It's a similar thing. He's like, don't go for the best painted. What's the one that's got the best narrative or that's just cool as shit? You know, the army that won this one was a Chaos Dwarf army.
Didn't you get loads of extra Bretonians so you could make your list more competitive?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, no. I got more Bretonians so that I could have an army that didn't get his shit pushed in immediately.
Yeah, to be more competitive.
Yeah, or I could have more. Like the army I took this time, I still lost 2 games out of 5. No, I still lost 3 games out of 5. I only won 2 games out of 5. But I had more fun because of it, because I had more fun units to have in my army.
I had more fun because I was winning.
Some of the best games I played, I lost. I literally lost my first game to the guy that won the event.
Did you?
Yeah, it was lovely. But the thing is though, when people that are good at the game, right, most of them know, some of them are very humble, some of them know that they're very good at the game, some of them might even think that they're already going to win it, right, because they know that their army's that good. But what tends to happen is they tell you how to make your army better. Right? They teach you new rules.
Why do you
teach
make your army better though, if you just want to play and have fun?
I know, but they say like, all right, next time you play, you can do this. You know? Oh, what would have been more effective in this combat is if you'd wheeled your units around this way. You know? But what's mental is that if the people that do go there with, because you're always going to get them in every community, people that do want to win, the people that do want to win also want people around them to get better.
So they have a harder challenge?
Yeah, so they have a harder challenge. Like, because they know how to use, because it has an in-depth rule session, they know how to use those rules to a greater advantage. But they're also like, let's just have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm baiting you on purpose.
Yeah,
because I don't follow the mantra
Yeah.
of I don't care about winning.
Yeah.
I don't follow that mantra. I think that's bollocks. I think anyone that says it is talking out their arse. That being said, so when I say it's hard to get this, it's hard to word this correctly. I'm going to try. It's not about winning, but it's also about not getting tabled in a turn.
Yeah.
Right. And so when people go, "I just take what I like that's fine. But if you go to every single game you ever play and get beaten in 2 turns and you don't stand a chance in any game, you're not going to have fun. No matter how much you like what you're taking, you're not going to have fun. Yeah. So you need to get to a point where, like, I at least think I could have a chance of winning at some point.
Yeah.
For you to, I think, to enjoy it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I a bit?
Yeah. And
Okay.
the thing is, though, like what's funny is that when I played against the guy that won, I only lost because he had one spell that I didn't dispel. So there's a spell that he had access to, which basically you pick a unit, you cast a spell on it. If it goes off, that unit can't march, but it can't charge. My entire army is made of charging horses.
Yeah.
So when my charging horses can't charge, much less efficient, as you would imagine, right?
No.
Yeah, but what was great is the Green Knight popped up behind his army, and every time he charged someone of his artillery, it would take a terror test, fail, and then run off the board. So basically his people were literally running away because they were terrified of this mythical kind of creature knight. And it was great, and we were having a great time. But and then his lord, if I'd killed his lord, which my lord has the capability of doing, would have been really helpful. But I went in, I hit all the time, and then failed to roll any 4 pluses out of 7 attacks.
I do kind of really want to put together a Tomb King army and start learning this game, but I look at it as a time investment versus return thing, right? Because that's how my mind always works. At the moment, this game, currently at least, is so fucking good. If I didn't like AoS 4, at the moment, with the way that 40k is, I think I'd be looking more seriously at something like
But what I like about Old World is the same thing I'm getting out of AoS that I'm not getting out of 40k.
Okay, what's that?
Is that I can build cool, amazing heroes. Because like the character creation in Old World is huge, right? So you have a baseline character, and then that character, depending on their level of like general, can then have access to anywhere up to 200 points of equipment.
I mean, I do remember seeing things like, it could be a level 1 wizard, level 2 wizard, level 3 wizard, when we looked at the rulebook when we got it, and thinking, that's better.
You can give this guy a lance, a sword,
a dragon,
a mace, a dragon, a horse, a unicorn, you know? Like, and then you
I
go,
do like
and
that.
then you go, you have access, so you can be like, here's all the things you can buy. So you could buy heavy armor, light armor, you can put him on a horse, you can give that horse barding, you can give that horse full plate, you know? And then
I do like that.
Yeah, and then you go, here's a list of 30 universal pieces of equipment that person could buy, but then there's a list of another 20 things that your character could buy from your specific army.
Yeah.
So you can create these complete like Swiss Army knives.
I love that.
And then
I used to remember with my high elves being like level whatever mage, put on a dragon, do this, do that, go, fucking this is my character.
My Bretonian Duke on a Royal Pegasus is 407 points.
What's the average points of the game?
2,000.
It's still 2,000, is it?
Still 2,000 points is what most events run. So near, like, a fifth of my army is one character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if my opponent kills him, that's 5 points out of 20.
Okay.
So it's a quarter of the points my opponent can get from just killing one character. And that guy will go in and obliterate shit. But if he fails to do it, he's in danger. But the thing is, though, the rest of the army around him is just your kind of bog standard rank and flank units that kind of like trudge around doing stuff. So it's like your Boggo units are Boggo units. Your elite units are actually quite elite, but they're still killable. But your characters is like double R bastards, which I really like. But there's that flexibility in creating them. AoS doesn't have so much flexibility, but the characters are really fucking cool. And your rank units are pretty just rank stuff that you can buff with characters.
When they start selling the high elf stuff again, you may see me get involved.
Yeah. And what's mental is the level of hobby that you see in Old World is very, very similar to Age of Sigmar that you never see in 40k. Like people that like Age of Sigmar, people that like Old World really fucking love those games. Like, I would say that the Old World community is more passionate about the hobby than Age of Sigmar. I think it tiers.
Okay.
Right? I'd say that the most passionate hobbyists in the game are Old World, and then I go Age of Sigmar, then I go Horus Heresy, and then I'd go
Interesting.
all of the other games that Games Workshop support, and then 40k.
So you'd put Heresy below AoS.
Yes.
Interesting.
And that is only because, I don't know if it's the Horus Heresy community, right? Your army is just Space Marines, right? And there's only so much you can do with a Space Marine. You can paint them really, really, really nice, right? But you've got to put 50 bog standard tactical Space Marines on the table, you know, with just a slightly fancy armor and transfers and stuff. So those armies look really, really, really nice, but the best versions of Heresy armies are the most basically painted ones. Where there's always, like with 40k, with Heresy, obviously you use oils, you use transfers, but the less effort, the better they look. The more over the top you go, the more of a chance you can make like a problem. You can make it look quite garish, or some sections are really good. It's almost too much, you know. Whereas Old World, because the game is supported very, very badly by Games Workshop. I'm sorry, Games Workshop, but it is supported badly because it is so difficult to get hold of stuff, right? It took 5 months to get at least 2 shards from my Bretonians. The amount of effort that Old World players have to go to get a nice army, they're almost more incentivized to make that army look good. They're like, it cost me £75 to buy one model off of eBay that when it was sold, it was a tenner. You know, they're like, I'm going to put the effort in. You know, I'm not going to do a bad job of my expensive model.
Okay, I kind of see that, I guess.
You know, so like there was.
But that still doesn't excuse Heresy below AoS though. So although I understand it from the Old World perspective, I do get that. That makes sense. Everything you just said makes sense.
But I've got a weird piece of paper in my beard.
Yeah, it's been there since the start.
Why didn't you tell me?
It's funny, isn't it? But literally since you turned up.
But the thing is, though, the only reason I put AoS above Heresy is because across the board the models are better.
That's not the hobbyist, though, is it? The hobbyist isn't more passionate at that point. That's the models just being better.
The models are better, which helps along the way. But I find that AoS people are more open because I think the world helps as well. If you like high fantasy stuff, you're more accepting of things. Whereas in Horus Heresy, it's like playing a historical game, isn't it? So battles have already been fought in the future.
I had this conversation with my brother yesterday, because my brother's never really looked at AoS before at all. He's only ever been a 40k player. And we went into the exhibition, he's never been to the exhibition before, and obviously the first section of the AoS exhibition is Old World, and then it's AoS. And I was obviously raving about AoS, as I have to everyone I've been speaking to lately, because I love it. And I'm like, Ash, AoS, it's the future. AoS, better for your kids, easier to get into, easier to learn, AoS. And I was constant about it. We walked into that exhibition centre, and you started to see some of the big models. Your Eidolons, your Teclis, your Nagash.
Yeah.
He started to, and he was like, oh my God. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah. And he went, these are fucking incredible. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he went, why don't we have this kind of stuff in 40K? I was like, well, you kind of do. You've got the Avatar, you've got the Silent King, you've got, the Void Dragon, Abaddon's a beautiful sculpt. He's like, yeah, but to this scale, I was like, yeah, but actually they can't. AoS has a significantly less amount of restriction on it than 40K does. 40K's law's been established for many, many, many years. You see what happens when they do something simple as trying to introduce a female fucking custodian. The world lost its mind.
It did.
So it can't seem to branch out into the absolute wild and wonderful the way that AoS can.
Yeah.
And some of that, I think, is the closed mind of the fan base, and some of that is the restriction of the narrative setting. Whereas AoS, it was almost like, do what you fucking want, off you go.
Yeah.
Go have fun. And the designers went, cool, okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is unbelievable in terms of scale and scope and craziness, and he was all for it. Funny old thing, you know what his favourite big character was, Joe? 2 favourite big characters?
You're going to say Teclis, aren't you?
Teclis and Nagash. It's got to taste, that boy. Got to taste.
I've gone off Nagash.
Have you?
He's a nice model,
It's a great model.
but nicer models exist,
I don't know,
he's not
I really
a bad
like
model.
it.
I don't think he's the best now because he's an old model, but he's still an incredible one. Also, just to bang that old world drum, like a lot of people are just using AoS models now in old world. To the point where it wouldn't surprise me if Games Workshop go, fine, use AoS models in old world.
So who's your favourite big model?
My favourite big model. Big model.
In AoS?
How big?
In AoS,
Right.
what's your favourite big model?
Because I'd say someone like Laukavai and Talia Vedra are like a mid-size big
Yeah, they're
model.
mid.
Yeah. Big model.
So what have we got? We've got Teclis,
Yeah.
Eidolon,
Yeah.
we've got Nagash,
Yeah.
we've got
Archaeon.
Alariel,
Yeah.
we've got Archaon.
Yeah.
Who else have we got? Who's the dude on the Maw Grunter? What's his name on the giant, the big pig?
Yeah, just the more grunter, big orc war boss.
There's a name though, isn't there? Gordrak, Fist of
Yeah.
Mok, is that his name?
Yeah.
We've got him. What else have we got? We've got some other big ones in there as well. There's got to be more. There's probably
King
more.
Brom.
King Brom.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Archaon is probably the best big boy.
Those kits, by the way.
Oh, actually.
The King Brom kits are fucking insanely good.
Right, I'm gonna say Archaon's my favourite, but a shout out to the brother, sister, husband, wife, Slanesh demons for AoS specifically with the big fans.
Yeah.
Those things are stunning models.
I don't know what they're called, but I know what you're
yeah.
about. What about Morathi though?
Morathi's great. The problem is I don't think I can pick a favourite.
I almost bought Morathi yesterday
Really?
because when you see her painted in the exhibition centre and the way the snake's painted, it's fucking
It's
gorgeous.
stunning. I really want to do a Daughters of Kane army, just because the whole range is great. I don't know if it's any good.
Well, I nearly bought her yesterday, and then I messaged Joe and I said, Joe, I don't want to do Daughters of Kane anymore. Because I went and looked at the range, and I like it, it's cool, it's okay. I don't love it. I don't love it at all. I love, what's her face, Morathi.
Yeah.
Her giant snake model, I love that model, and I want that model in my life.
This doesn't mean you can renege on our deal.
What deal?
So I made a deal with you, and you said yes, because you were like, I wouldn't mind doing Daughters of Kane, and I was like, I don't have an issue with you doing Daughters of Kane, but I shotgun now Dark Elves.
Oh, Joe, I don't care about Dark Elves. I've never cared about Dark Elves.
Because the Dark Elf range, given what we've seen from Warcry and Underworlds, is going to be banging.
I don't care about Joe. I don't care about Dark Elves. Yeah. There is no reneging on that deal at all. I don't care about Dark Elves. Yeah. I've always been High Elf, Wood Elf.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever cared about, High Elf, Wood Elf. I don't care about Dark Elves. Dark Elves is yours.
Yeah. I was looking at the old metal Wood Elf range on eBay yesterday.
I'm sure you were.
Because I had an idea that lasted about an hour, and then I realised I can't afford eBay. Because it had do you remember the Waywatcher metal kits for Old World? Which, if you look at them now, are still stunning.
No.
So, Waywatcher, have we got the Wood Elf book?
We might do.
Hang on, let me. Games Workshop, near the end of Old World, released a bunch of new sculpt Wood Elf models. And they were incredible. Hang on.
On a scale of 1 to incredible, how incredible were they?
Hang on. Wood, elf, Weight Watcher.
Do you want to give me that iPad because you've not got for it for a bit?
Oh, hang on. Images.
Chat had gone quiet because you're not responding to them, Jay. When you respond to them spending money, they spend money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need to find the new ones? New. Yeah. And they were like all based off of like the artwork.
Okay, they're cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
I remember them now. Now you've shown them to me.
Right. So then we'll do this. Thank you, Lehman Russ. It says, I might need to hire Joe to build my backlog of Forge World models and Space Marines for Horus Heresy World Eaters. And I hope you both have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Lehman Russ. He's unfortunately incredibly busy doing Age of Sigmar stuff.
Well, it depends on how much he offers.
It doesn't.
So I could go full time.
Full time. You are full time
For Lehman Russ.
Depends
on how much he offers. But there will be a minimum term of service that you have to keep paying. And if the work dries up, you have to keep paying me. Yeah. Thank you, Arno Lowe, for 5. Gift membership.
Fucking legend. Thanks, dude.
I hope
That puts us on like 52, I think.
that
Silence is deafening on streams.
I hope that your boss buys you pizza for lunch.
Was that a hint?
Well, no, because I've already had lunch. It's gone past lunchtime. I'm going to go down to Aldi, see what they got. Yeah, pizza lunch. Oh, I fucking love pizza. Thank you, Adrian. Adrian says, well behaved more than we should have. We wanted to hear the 6.5k opinions we had and still do. I think it means options. We'll try to poke him enough today to get something.
Won't work.
What if they give the company 6.5 grand?
I'm being professional.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sell shares in the company instead.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Non-dividend paying.
The singer.
Non-vote. Yeah.
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 Every single time you buy a share, what little one gets delivered through your door box?
Yeah. A little model.
Yeah.
A little painted share.
They all start singing at different times of day.
Yeah. Or like when the real share is within a 5-mile radius, it just starts singing.
Yes.
Do you know they do that with the Coldplay when they do the events? They give out those bands, don't they?
Do they?
When you go and see Coldplay, I've never been, but I've had family members that go. They give you like a wristband, right? So when you're at the show, you hold your thing up, and then it does it lights up part of the crowd with the wristbands. And people say that if Coldplay are playing nearby, obviously they work on the same system. So you'll be at home and your wristband will just start lighting up like wherever it is in the house. Fun fact. Thank you, Roland Bay says, can a vehicle be a character?
Yes.
Yes.
Beyond the Fell-Handed.
Oh yeah, Beyond the Fell-Handed. There used to be a really good Red Scorpions Leviathan Dreadnought character. He was cool. You've got the Librarian Dread. Tends to be Dreadnoughts. But then you've got some Orc characters are technically vehicles because they're on like big bikes and buggies.
Yeah. Or the Wurtau, was that not a character for a while?
Yeah. You've got the big pig for Orcs. It's mainly Orcs. Imperial Knights are all characters, the big ones.
You don't go backpedaling now, Kai. Kai's my new financial advisor.
Is he?
Yeah. I've asked him how I can better monetize you.
Better monetize me?
Yeah, how can I make more money off of Joe?
Yeah. And do I get most of that money?
No.
Oh.
No, I own you.
So I have to do more work to make you more money and get...
Who said anything about you doing more work?
I don't know. I just assumed knowing you it would be more work.
You know me.
More beatings.
Just because I'm a workaholic, I don't necessarily force it upon you. That was a fiddly fucking fit, that.
Look at the connection points on the inside of these horses. They're tiny little bits. They're not great.
Average British Nerd, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, you legend.
Thank you.
What do you hope?
I hope when you do your Christmas tree shopping, this is you have to wait a bit of time for this. The Christmas tree you buy is the exact same, like perfect fit for wherever you need it to go. The amount of times I've gone and got a Christmas tree and it's either too big or too wide to fit into the gap that you need it to go into. It doesn't help that my house is tiny, so all the ones I get are either too big and too wide.
Hey, buy a big
We have to cut half of it off, you know.
Pimp him out, Liam.
Thank you, Sam Deacon. I like the wound roll for gaming, but I much prefer the heresy style strength versus toughness because I don't think a lasgun should be able to damage a land raider. That is the best version. So if your weapon is double the toughness, or if the toughness is double the strength, it shouldn't be able to wound, or it wounds on 6s. So anything between the same and just under double should be 5s. If it's double the toughness, it should be 6, and if it's over double, it shouldn't be able to wound.
Do you think the 40k wounding system has contributed relatively negatively to the balance issue?
Yeah.
Compared to say not compared to the AoS one, but compared to say the heresy version.
Oh yeah, because
do you think it's more or less balanced? That if you bring a whole battalion of guardsmen because you're playing narratively, with loads and loads and loads and loads of guardsmen and lasguns, and your opponent brings Imperial Knights to the table, do you think it's more or less balanced that those guardsmen can wound them with their lasguns?
I don't think so. They brought in a rule in 5th or 6th edition that didn't last very long, which was like a lucky shot or something. So like if you shoot something like 30 lasguns at a vehicle, 1/6 to wound counts as like a vehicle shaken. You can stun a vehicle, but you can't damage the vehicle, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think they should be able to kill vehicles. Like a bolt gun shouldn't be able to hurt a land raider. You know, a heavy bolter should be able to hurt a land raider, but it still does. It reduces its save to 3 up and does 2 damage to it. But I think it's because Games Workshop went into the phase of everyone needs to be able to have a chance. Not build your armies better, be better at building armies, make a more varied army that can deal with many things. Just go. Everything can hurt everything all the time. You know? And that's why we get into these situations where people feel like they have to have the toilet dice. You know, they have to go microwaving their dice so that their guard just are better. I miss the days when I was like, well, I have to take melter guns and las cannons to deal with tanks. Now, a melter gun is literally useless versus a tank.
I do remember when I used to list build, I was talking to my brother about this yesterday in the car actually. When I used to list build, I'd be like, this is an anti-infantry purpose, this is an anti-tank purpose. Yeah. I used to build things that were there to do certain jobs, and I feel like that's gone away a little bit now with 40k, and it doesn't exist in AoS.
Yeah, melter guns are now the least efficient anti-tank and anti-elite infantry gun in the game. Because a melter gun can only kill one model. One model with a toughness of 8 or less, because the moment you shoot a melter gun at a tank, it won't kill the tank and it will barely wound it, because it wounds most vehicles on 5s. And if that vehicle has got more than 8 wounds, it can't kill it. Whereas a plasma gun is better at killing elite infantry and has the exact same chance of wounding and hurting a tank as a melter gun does, because the melter gun can still roll a 2 for its damage.
I'm still quite a fan of melter guns, so I'm probably the wrong person to talk to. But then I get to run them with sisters where I can go, that's just
so in sisters where they get to re-roll all the things all the time and can just go, here's a dice, I wound on a 6.
It's more about the damage, like.
So but they get re-roll wounds inherently.
No, they don't. Who do?
Sisters can get.
No, they don't. Only the Paragon war suits get re-roll wounds with what's her face in there.
Yeah, and Don't
Retributes don't get any more. It's gone.
they get +1 to wound instead?
I don't think so.
They get a bonus to shooting at vehicles. So their anti-tank is better than everyone else's anti-tank units.
Yeah, because they've actually built an anti-tank unit with anti-tank rules.
Yeah. So it's a bit mental. Yeah, I just don't think anti-tank in 40k is any good at killing vehicles, whereas in AoS and Old World and Heresy, there are specific anti-tank, anti-big thing rules and or keywords.
I think one of the biggest things for me
Yeah.
with 40k is that the winner almost always in 40k nowadays is weight of dice.
Oh yeah.
So I could take this weapon on this giant thing that has 4 attacks that does fucking 6 plus d6 damage, and it sounds super cool, but again, like you've just said, you can kill a single unit. That's it.
Yeah.
1 unit, get 1 thing. So if you shoot that gun, you shoot that 6 plus d6 damage weapon at a tank that's got 8 wounds left, you might kill the tank. If you shoot at Marines, you kill 1 Marine.
Yeah.
And that's where I have a bit of a problem with it, I think. Whereas and so what you do is you go, well, the way I solve that problem is by having monumental weight of dice. So if I have so many dice that I'm rolling, it doesn't matter if I'm shooting at a horde or a vehicle, so many are going to go through that I'm going to kill whatever I'm shooting at.
Yeah.
And so the big, powerful weapons become kind of less impressive or less desirable.
Do you know what the best unit in the Imperial Guard is currently? Lasgun.
Batlings.
No, Lasgun wielding stormtroopers. You can run 3 units, which is 45 models of Scions, all with hotshot lasguns, which re-roll all hits, re-roll wounds, and have lethal hits.
Just tell the people how you're getting that, because some people they don't do that inherently. They don't do that inherently. You're right.
Yeah, but so basically, versus infantry, Imperial Guard get lethal hits on 6s. Scions re-roll 1s to hit when they target a unit on an objective. No, when they target a unit to shoot. They re-roll all hits if it's on an objective.
Nickelback.
And then, and they get sustained hits when they got a character in the character in the unit. I can't remember how you get the re-roll wounds, but you can get re-roll wounds. So you're literally just going hitting on. You get them hitting on 2s, re-rolling all hits, and every 6 is a wound and an extra shot. And then you roll to wound, and you're just fishing for 6s. And it's AP 1, so everything that you shoot at just gets worse saves. So you've got 15 infantry, and then you could put hotshot volley guns, you could put plasma guns, you could put melter guns in there, and they get the same rules, which then get even more efficiency. And they just turn up and obliterate everything they shoot at. Not the Vanquisher, which is a dedicated anti-tank gun. That's literally the worst tank that Guard have access to. The Punisher is better because that does devastating wounds.
How much does it hurt you that the Vanquisher is the worst?
It hurts my soul so much. The Vanquisher is my favourite, and now it's just absolute toffee. Thank you. Oh yeah, the reroll to wound is from the Torox Prime.
Thank you so much, you beautiful
Thank
humans.
Yeah, so Scions are a bit.
I said 60 Crete again, ready to go, maybe 6 of them in 8th Ed. I love Crete. I love the new Crete. The new Crete models are amazing, by the way. White-tail breacher bombs are so effective. They are.
Yeah.
They are so effective. So effective.
But if you look at things like
effective.
Chaos Terminators now, this is not me complaining about how shit they are. This is complaining about how good they can be. Where you can have a 10-man unit with combi bolters, which hit on 4s.
Yeah.
But with Abaddon or a Dark Pact, you reroll all hits. Right? You can give them sustained hits on 5s. So that's 20 shots, re-rolling everything, hitting on 4s, but 5s and 6s are more hits. And then you can re-roll. Oh no, you want re-roll. You want sustained hits on 6s, but re-rolling everything, and then you want mark undivided, so you can re-roll all wounds, but they're anti-infantry 4+ devastating wounds.
Yeah, I see what you've just done in that sentence, right? Is you just said a load of things, which is a bunch of things in a row, which makes me hate this game at the moment.
Yeah. So
those combos that exist, and competitive players use them, of course.
Yeah.
But like, oh yeah, I can reroll all hits, reroll all wounds, anti-infantry, 4+, devastating wounds, which means when I roll force to wound, you just don't get a save, and I'm like, oh, this fucking game.
yeah, and your opponent's like, and can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
As that 10-man unit just deletes your stuff, and you can take three of those units in your army. It's points heavy, but you can take 3 of those units in your army, which gets a bit bonkers. It's not a very good army. But then you can get the same thing without the re-rolling to wound out of just all Space Marines with Stern Guard. But now, but bolt guns don't, like, as Evil Bear Wargame says, bolt guns don't feel like bolt guns anymore.
They don't.
They're either combi weapons, like on Stern Guard and Chaos Space Marines, mad powerful, almost too powerful, or literally useless.
What do you mean my high explosive reactive shells shot out of my bolt gun, which is the size of a person, hasn't even obliterated the guardsman's armour?
I know.
And his 5+ save has saved.
Well, it depends on which bolt gun shoots it, Primaris ones are better than everyone else's bolt guns. For no reason. But that's fine.
Is it?
No.
Is it fine, Joe?
No, it's not fine.
Thank you. The whole way you said that made it sound like it wasn't fine.
Thank you, Average Fridge Nerd, for 10 gifted memberships.
Love you, dude.
Thank you. I hope that the next game of whatever you play, you win the roll off and go first.
Well, he doesn't want to go first, though. Or is this just part of the lottery that he lives in?
Well, if he knows he's going first, he can deploy accordingly and write his army list accordingly because he knows he's going to go first.
That's fair.
If you knew the lottery numbers in advance, you'd pick those numbers, wouldn't you? No, you'd pick different numbers and lose.
I'd send them to you.
Oh. Then I'd be a millionaire. Thank you, Stick Monkey.
Like,
can't have light up wristbands for this community.
Why not? Why can't we?
Same as having you got a light up wristband on now, technically.
It's a watch, Joe.
Yeah, but it's a light on a wristband.
I don't think you. Okay.
No.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Why can't we have light up wristbands, though? Why are you ruining my fun? I want light up wristbands.
Yeah.
I'm here for that life. What the fuck? This is a bit of a fucking pig to put together, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I left my hoodie over there. I'm freezing cold now.
Yeah,
the aircon's... It's too clean now.
You're aware that
It's too breezy.
You're aware that the microphones are portable, Joe?
No, I'm going. I'm leaving.
That's the beauty. Good day to you, sir. The beauty of being able to get and walk over.
I'm going to throw them once as well.
Oh, please mute yourself, please.
No.
Please mute yourself. Chat, please tell me if you can hear him. I like the fact that as well, he didn't go and get his hoodie, he went to the toilet first, and now he's going, and then he'll go and get his hoodie afterwards. How are we doing, chat? So sad, AoS show devoted to, I mean, he gets on it pretty quickly, that poor man, but when it comes to 40k. Actually, I think moreover, what it does when he talks about an infantry 4+ devastating range, reroll hits, and what it does for me is it makes me, Mike, if I'm being completely honest, love the AoS rule set even more, to be clear. I fucking love this rule set. I think it's so good. We can hear him. I got my eyes on people like you, Liam and Russ, people like you and Carl, who say it just for the sake of it. Genuinely stick on a theme with my VS and go for plasma and las guns. I like themes. I was talking to my brother about this yesterday. He wanted to get some stuff for his Space Marines. He wanted my help. And I was like, I don't really know Space Marines, actually, if I'm completely honest with you. He said, well, what do I do? I was like, just pick a theme. Pick things you like. That's what I would always advise anyone to do. Pick shit you like. Build an army to a theme. Do you want to be fast? Do you want to be elite? Do you want to be Terminator heavy? What do you want to do? I have much more fun putting an army list together for shit like that than I do what's good, what's broken, what's going to be powerful. But we were talking about how the pair of us often can be people that are still, I need my troops, I need my elites. He's messaging me from the loo. I'm sure he is, Steve. We need to have a conversation, you and I. Because you talk to him more than you talk to me now, and that makes me sad. Thought we were friends, Steve. Thought we were bros. Makes me sad. Are you messaging Steve from the toilet?
Yeah. Well, which one?
Ginger Steve, he told us in chat. If you're messaging other Steve from the toilet, Joe, I would get you checked.
Yeah. Got on my white, you see, because I'm pure.
Yeah? You can bust into a Westlife song.
Yeah. I haven't got a puffer jacket on.
You're not?
No. Then I do a bit more take that stuff. Wait, on. Bye, Big Daddy. Thank you for the 1. Thank you, Sit Monkey. You did that one. Yes, I like that. Thank you, Richard C. for 5 gifted memberships.
Legend, love
Thank you.
Fucking hero.
I hope that next time you go to Greg's, the food they give you has literally just been cooked. Fresh.
Is there such a thing as a fresh Greg's?
Yeah, it's just cooked.
Is that a thing? Is it still classified as fresh at that point though?
It's freshly out the oven, you know. It's not fresh, it's frozen. It's been cooked, frozen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can it really be defined as fresh? Did he wash his hands? Almost definitely not. No. Joe the White, yeah.
In wing.
I have returned to you now at the turn of the tide.
The turn of the tides. I was there when the West Wall fell.
Were you?
Yeah. I wasn't doing much. Quite afternoon.
Come on then, Shadow Facts. You want to read the rest of these out and what you want me to do it?
Thank you, Richard C. Just got my hands on Ushiran. Vive la France.
Ushiran, is he the flesh eater course, dude?
Yeah.
I only bought him for you yesterday.
Yeah? There's a lot of nearlies going on, I've noticed. I nearly did this. I nearly did that. You know? I feel like I'd feel better if you didn't tell me.
What did you get today? What did I give you when you turned up?
Herpes.
And?
Some stuff that you bought by accident and then decided to give to me.
And
some stuff that we need for the channel armies.
That you asked for.
That I asked for to add to the channel armies to make them good.
Yep.
You know? He says all this, but what you don't realise is that he's just like, I just bought some stuff for the channel and you have to build it and paint it.
Yep.
So, don't let him beguile you.
Beguile, that's a big word for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I learnt it. It's because my unicorn in Old World has got a beguiling aura.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not a word that's usually in my lexicon.
I thought your toilet roll was now word of the day stuff.
Oh, God, no. 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 Let's stick this guy here. Blop. Thank you, Sam Deacon. So, Joe, how sad are you that Seth is going? Right.
This is rumoured. This isn't confirmed.
Yeah, so this is... I'm going to quote Valrak now.
Oh, God.
Rumours are lies until they're confirmed by Games Workshop. All right? All rumours are lies. We haven't seen the rules.
If we had, we couldn't tell you.
And if we had, we couldn't tell you.
As you know. Sam,
right, so...
He's fishing, Joe. That's what
He
he's
is
doing.
fishing. I don't want Seth to go, because he's my favourite Blood Angels character. But he went basically, he disappeared like a year ago from Games Workshop's store. So It wouldn't surprise me if Games Workshop wanted to streamline their Space Marine characters range by only having characters from mainline chapters. So, like, you might not see Vulcan Heston or Pedro Cantor. Although, it's a weird one, because obviously, like, Vulcan Heston kind of went, and then...
Vulcan didn't go. You still get him in the Games Workshop shop.
Can you still get him in the shop?
Yeah, I was looking at him.
Lysander disappeared, didn't he?
Lysander went, yeah, he went.
Which was a weird one. Pedro went. Seth went. Will they return? I don't know, because they're like Games Workshop's in a weird phase where some new characters stay, or some existing characters stay, some just disappear, some get new models, but then Games Workshop changes their name to something else. Like Tor Garradon that came out for Imperial Fists. That should have been Lysander, really, shouldn't it? That should have been a new plastic Lysander.
Well, this is all part of their whole. Oh, some people haven't gone through the Primaris.
Yeah. So, but the weird thing is, like, Gabriel Seth is like one of 4 existing firstborn Space Marines for the Flesh Tearers, and obviously they were given an entirely new army by Gilliman, and they got a book, you know, and their transfers are in the army box set. I can say that because there's literally a picture of it. There's literally Flesh Tearers transfers on the sheet.
You got very excited about that when you saw
Very
that.
excited. So it would be weird for Games Workshop to, after 15 years of having Flesh Tearers, actually give them a transfer sheet again to then get rid of the main leader of that army. I personally hope that it's like some kind of weird level of misdirection because of the rumor. Because it's odd that there's like what's in the box kind of rumors are currently out based on the fact that these kind of rumors normally only appear once they're in the hands of content creators and postmen. But no one's got it.
Or have they?
Or have they? And basically, until I see a picture of a page or the book itself, I'm just going to assume he's still in the book. If he's not in the book, I would like to see a relic so that I can build him.
Basically, chat, Joe's going full denial.
Yeah. You know? Thing is, I won't repaint my army into Blood Angels. I'll still play Flesh Tearers. I'll still use Gabriel Seth as a Space Marine captain. He just won't be as good as he currently is now. It's an odd one. I don't know.
I don't know. Nobody told me nothing.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did kill him off, like they did Yarrick. If they did it to Yarrick, they could do it to anyone.
Yeah, facts.
End of the day. If they could kill off a character that they did a cartoon for to launch their streaming service, right? Saying that Yarrick is literally unkillable because the Orcs believe that he can't be killed. They've done a video saying that he is immortal and then killed him.
Yeah.
Weird choice, right? So that can happen to literally anyone. Like, they won't, but they could turn around and be like, oh, Ragnar Blackmane is dead. He's not in the book.
How dare you?
Yeah. They could do it to Logan Grimnar. He tried to cross the Rubicon and died. His heart gave out. He's very old. He's very tired. Very sleepy.
He's very tired.
You know? Or they could go Beyond the Fell-Handed. His sarcophagus isn't compatible with the Redemptor Dreadnought chassis. He died. Whap whap. I will strike though.
You'll sulk.
I will sulk. I will give it a good solid 3 weeks of sulking.
Yeah, minimum.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, Crumpets Panda. It says, let's get some AoS positivity. Tell me your fun lore fact. I really like the Fire Slayers are known to end up mercenarying for Chaos factions to get their god's magical essence turned into gold.
I don't know if I have a fun lore fact at the moment. The lore, I tell you one thing, the lore is something that I've been diving into more of late. And I've been like little bits here and there and reading little bits from battle tomes or little extracts here and there and stuff. I haven't really dedicated my time to one specific type of lore at the moment. I'm currently going through that book that you recommended, The Lady of Sorrows.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking fantastic. It's really, really good. I didn't think I'd enjoy it anywhere near as much as I am enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why specifically I'm enjoying it so much, but I am really fucking enjoying it. So, AoS lore. When I tried to get into it years ago, I didn't love it. Now I'm getting into it this time round. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's new and it's different. I don't know if it's because it's fantasy and I typically prefer fantasy. I don't know if it's because I'm now more invested in the game.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but I am 100% enjoying the lore more this time round. But I think the lore's just got stronger overall as well.
Oh yeah.
I think I've done a lot with it, you know. You got a fun lore fact, Joe?
I like that in the realm of death, basically, unless you die peacefully in your sleep, your body has to be destroyed.
Pretty extreme.
Because it'll come back as a chain rasp and murder everyone. So there's a book I listened to where they were trying to figure out how someone died because he'd been buried, and then like, oh, maybe he was murdered, and they were like, you need to dig it up and bury it because he's going to come back and kill everyone. I like that one. That one's good. The problem is I listen to a lot of Warhammer horror, so fun facts aren't generally fun.
Yeah, I'm here for the horror, though. I'm enjoying the horror.
Yeah, I like the horror stuff because it just kind of suits Age of Sigmar better.
Yeah, I think so. The Realm of Death is, for me, my favourite bad guys of Realm of Death.
I don't know. I'm not listening. The orcs and goblin stuff has got the best kind of background because it's all just a bit like.
There you go, Joe, look at that.
They're just all off their faces on mushrooms, aren't they? He's a lovely model, isn't he?
He's a big old llama rider, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is specifically Lyrior Orthral, the Warden of Eumetrica.
Of my metrics.
Yeah, the Warden of Eumetrica.
Yeah. Does he control YouTube?
Look at his chat. Look at his cheeky chat with his big fucking spear. Gonna go around shanking, shank like that.
Yeah. He controls the YouTube algorithm.
He controls the YouTube metrics.
Yeah.
He's a cool kit. I like it. He's a fiddly fucking bastard to put together.
Yeah.
He's much more complicated to put together than I expected for a stream. But we did it. We got there. We got there, chat.
I'm just building horses. I built 2, or 1.5. Thank you, Tox Trio. It says, we just started planning our path to glory at my local gaming store, and I can't explain how excited I am for that. Even though AoS 4 isn't perfect, and I have my problems with some things, my hype hasn't dropped at all.
Talk to me about Path to Glory quickly, chat, because we had Crusade in 9th edition 40k, and I didn't like it very much. And a lot of people keep talking about Path to Glory, and I assumed it was just the same. So talk to us about, I'm going to use the bathroom, but talk to us about Path to Glory.
Have we got a book?
We were going to stop now, but we're going to keep going for a bit.
We're going to keep going?
Yeah.
Having fun. I like the idea of doing Path to Glory, but I think we have to develop some form of pre-recorded for it, and then like release it like every week, every 2. What's this weird talk about Nickel? I love Nickelback. Nickelback's one of my favourite bands. What benefits do you get for doing? Because if we do Path to Glory, it means that Liam might paint some models, and we could do some cool narrative stuff and do some cool fun missions that aren't kind of like in the rule book. Chat was talking about the idea a couple of weeks ago, might even be last week, about doing AoS boarding action style game, like in tunnels, caverns, or sewers. And I've been looking at ways that we can do sewers or something. I like the idea of like having like me running cities or Soulblight Gravelords, and then Liam runs the tree people, and we have some kind of weird campaign where vampires or trees are trying to kill people. Thank you, the Hobby Collab. Hi nerds, top 3 AoS crushes. Deralia Vendenst. She's up there. Laukavai. And Alariel. So I'm going to go. Top 3 crushes. Liam's disappeared into the back room. I don't know where he's gone. So, I says, Joe, are you allowed to use non-game structure models on stream when you go to tourneys for i.e. third printed ones for your models you can't get hold of? So I don't know what that stands for, but if you go to Old World events, most of it is.
It depends where your event is.
Yeah.
The majority of events don't give a fuck about 3D printed, as long as it's quite clear what it is.
Yeah, it has to be really obvious what it is.
If you go at Warhammer World, they'll tell you it's got to be their stuff.
Yeah, Laukavai is a statement. I don't know, she reminds me too much of the big vampire lady from Resident Evil Village.
You've got to think about Resident Evil, haven't you?
Resident Evil Village is now my favourite game ever.
Yeah.
By a long way.
I heard you pick Alariel, is that just because of the thighs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't miss leg day. I like a lady in a big flat hat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I was thinking about one of the Sinesh demons, but I feel like that would cause some problems.
I think very differently now, Joe. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. You want to hear some of the stuff he's saying. Did they talk about Path to Glory at all?
No, they've just started talking about sexy AoS people.
Really, Path to Glory is very similar to Crusade. Aww.
Who's Meg?
What?
Mike the writer says top AoS crushes: Nefertara, Alariel, Meg.
Meg's probably Hobby Collab Meg, to be fair.
That makes sense. The top half of Laukavai is fine. It's like, would you prefer your mermaids like women top half, fish bottom half, or women bottom half, fish top half?
Not fussy nowadays. I'm married for 13 years. Yeah.
Doesn't matter, had sex, you know. So
yeah, I'm not bothered. Not bothered, mate.
Mm. It's got weird calf game, like the cow.
Yeah.
Always surrounded by bison.
Right. Okay, so it sounds like Path to Glory is a bit like Crusade. We'll have to have a look at it.
Neve Blackthorn. I went for Deralia Vendenst.
I don't know enough.
But that might be because I've got a crush on the woman that narrates the book.
I don't know enough about women in AoS and their names to give an answer.
Not Alariel, even with her weird bony.
I mean, she seems like a sensible pick.
Yeah, you'll get splinters. Yeah, and like, how hard would it be to ride long distance on that giant beetle?
She's got wings, didn't she? Just fly alongside it.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't feel like that beetle is there just to carry her. I mean, I'm not sure, but
I don't get it. If she can fly herself, what's the point in the beetle to get places?
Because the beetle fucking headbutts people with his big horns, doesn't he? I'm not sure. Right, people. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Oh, hang on. You've got more of you.
Thank you, Alex. My favourite Fire Slayers lore is Glimmerlust. Some Fire Slayers develop a drug-like addiction to the feeling Urgold runes provide. If it's bad enough, they'll turn on their kin for more runes. So they're all druggies. There's a lot of drugs in there in AoS, isn't there?
I'm into it.
And then, thank you, Sam Deacon. I do feel your pain, Joe. If he does go, But at least it's only one model and not a whole black armoured Space Marine force. So, hashtag not... Right, Sam.
This isn't a 40k chat. Limit your AoS.
Thank you, Dreadnought, for one gift of membership. Right. Oh, yeah, I just want to say, right...
Fuck it.
Sam.
Can we please teach Joe to read? Joe, I've been trying for years.
No. Right, school couldn't do it. My parents couldn't do it.
I can't do it.
He can't do it. You know, just pick pick your battles.
63 gifted memberships, Joe.
Right. It is sad that the Deaf Company have gone. Right. Right.
Oh, we are talking about it, apparently.
Right. But Firstborn Deaf Company all died. They all died at Cadia. They all died at Baal. Right. So all the new Deaf Company that are being created are all Primaris. Right. So they're just going to have what the Primaris have. They'll just redistribute all the Thunderhammers to Intercessor Sergeants.
Yes, Mikey, you converted him.
Yes.
You did convert
Yeah, I
him.
was very much on the fence for the Boner Men. I really didn't like the pictures of the models. There are a couple models that I kind of liked, but I was a bit... Meh. But then...
You made that noise as well.
But then I saw yours, Mikey, and I was like, they're not that shit, actually. You did a really good job on the blue armour, and I think that's what swayed me. I was like, this army can look good.
Yeah.
You know? I will have to get the recipe on how Mikey did the sands on the bases. I like the idea of having sandy bases on these guys. What?
I feel like everyone who does like Bone Reapers or fucking... what's the same one from...
Because Tomb Kings, isn't it?
Tomb Kings, yeah. Sand. Bases on sand.
You bring the sand with them.
Fucking yeah.
You've got Lumineth with... hang on. You've got... Oh, everyone keeps them doing the shark people with water bases.
Right. I didn't make the bases.
I know, but...
those armies have been
But
bought,
do you have... No, but not just our ones, but do you go like... You've got water on your Deepkin base.
Well, there's a T in water.
No.
I just feel like, I'm going to put Oceanic Bone Reapers on sand bases, and I'm going to put Idneth on water bases, and I'm going to put Space Wolves on snowy bases. I'm like, fucking bore off.
It's because they live in a snowy place. And there are 1,000 Suns still running around on Fenris.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Cool story. Anywho, thank you everybody for
You're just so sad and miserable.
Thank you everybody for your incredible generosity. 63 gifted memberships on the Liam and Joe show. We appreciate it. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Joe got 2 horses, mostly built.
Mostly. They come out at night, mostly. 91.
You building the banner?
Yeah.
Fucking love a banner, don't you?
Oh, banners are the best. That's also a great thing about Old World, by the way. And it is starting to creep into AoS. Battle standard bearers. Like, big ass fucking banners.
I literally bought the guy that I bought yesterday because I was like, Joe will love this model.
Yeah, and
because he's just got a giant flag.
I was looking at him because I've been umming and ahhing about my next Old World army, and I'm like, do I use old models or do I use find an army that does AoS? And I was like, who has a strong banner game? And I was like, Lumineth do have
They've got a great banner game.
They've got a great banner game, and a lot of their models are still quite. They've got the bow unit, they've got the spear unit, they've got the sword unit. They've still got the crossbows, haven't they? The bolt throwers.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
then I was like, I've got a Soulblight Gravelord's army that I can put onto movement trades with round bases, and they've got some great banners. You know, I could do get loads of Sylvaneth and do a Wood Elves army, but just trees,
like dryads and stuff.
Yeah. So, what's that?
Mikey's very into the Hardly Newer range.
Really?
Yeah, he likes the Hardly Newer range.
We haven't got a new Hardly Newer
T-shirt
out for a while. Can that be the next one?
Maybe. I did think about doing Despoiler just for you.
Yes.
Abaddon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Despoiler is better than...
But Luce wanted me to do Abaddon with a disco ball and like platform shoes and a microphone.
No.
And I was like,
no.
I'm here for that.
No. That's the kind of thing that Mikey puts on a t-shirt.
Trigger the shit out of you.
You can do that one, Mikey. That's fine.
I'm here for that.
No.
City's banners are off the chart, says Meg.
city's banners are
Yeah.
beautiful, and also
Fucking like the rhino. Right, on that note, chat, thank you so much for the gifteds and the super chats, you beautiful human beings. Thank you for hanging out with us today on the Liam and Joe AoS show. Sorry it was so late because our aircon engineers turned up, but we now have even colder aircon, hence Joe is now dressed like fucking Gandalf the White if he liked pie. That being said, we have another show tonight at 7:30. Mr. The John from Visicast returns to the channel.
Yep.
And he is bringing, I say returns to the channel, he has been on this channel before, but he returns to YouTube, bringing his Gloom Spike Gits.
Nice.
And it looks like he's going to play Joe and his Soul Blight Gravelords.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got them out for a while. We've played Sylvaneth twice, because I put the Sylvaneth against Mikey's army as well.
Yeah, they're the same army every time.
So, yeah. I mean, pots and fucking kettles. So at this point, we're going to put some Soul Blight Gravelords on the table, get some Gloom Spike Gits to play tonight at 7:30 UK time, you beautiful humans. Tomorrow we're back at 7:30 with the 40k show. Nope, the Warhammer show. Thursday we've got another Liam and Joe show at 1:30. That one will be on time. And then we have a live game of 40k in the evening. And then Friday we come back with 40k After Dark.
Thursday
5 more shows this week,
is Flesh Terrors versus Orcs.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Big punch up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and do a narrative table. Nice, fun one.
Oh, hey, it's Meg. Maybe it's better to imagine it's Meg.
It did like...
It is Zach! It's Zach and Meg!
Oh,
amazing.
Someone summoned Meg, then, in that case.
Fucking love you, Zach.
Did...
I need to try and get back out to America land, and I want to come and see you people.
Can I
And
come?
someone messaged me on Instagram and was like, I have enough air miles I can gift you so you can basically have a free flight.
Oh.
Yeah, that's exciting, isn't it? So we'll figure it out.
I'd love to go. I've never been to America. All I know about America is what I've seen on television and films.
Have you never, ever been? I've been like 4
Never,
times.
ever. No. I think the closest I ever got to America was going to
Cornwall?
No. I went to Gran Canaria. I
That's
think.
the other way, Joe.
Yeah, I went to France.
Spain!
I went to France. Yeah, but it was closer. You know, I went to France, but that's just down.
How's it closer? How's it closer?
I don't know. I went to Italy. You know, that's like more closer, but not. No. Talking about America, I watched a great American. Well, I say great. It was an awful American film the other day. I watched.
Oh yeah, Meg and Zach are planning to come to the UK in April.
Really?
We can have them here for AoS Day.
Yeah.
How good would that be?
That'd be amazing. And we have Easter eggs.
Yeah.
They do. They do Easter in America. That's a really stupid question.
He's getting tired now. Can you tell?
I think I've had this open pot of glue next to me for the last 2 hours. It's just really done me over. How do I put this bird on?
Beard?
I've glued the wrong end. That's a problem. You got to shove this up his bum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. Amazing.
So I watched The Expendables 4
Did
on
you?
the weekend in my Airbnb. That's a film. I like the fact that 90% of that film is essentially CGI because no one in that film has the capacity to run anymore.
Yeah. Joe takes a scenic route to the US. Via India.
Yeah.
Like, Joe, you can just fly over that ocean. You don't have to go all the way around.
Yeah, but no one's offered to take me.
He's the fucker that will get on the, I can't get on a plane. I'll get on the Eurotunnel, drive all the way across Russia and be like, I've hit the ocean again.
Yeah. Russia is still technically closer.
Hey, if we start sticking out some fucking wild, like, crowdfunding $6.5 limits, we probably do afford some flights over there, Joe.
Yeah. I'll put my PayPal in chat and see what happens.
My PayPal's already in, chat. It's in the
Really?
video description. It lives there.
I don't think you'd let me put mine in there.
That PayPal lives in the video description since we funded our studio,
Yeah.
which was weird because we put more money into it than the public did.
Yeah, maybe they can help me get the bearings fixed on my car.
It's, it's yeah.
Yeah, I know my car's not in a great place when I'm driving down the street and people turn to look at it because they hear it before they see it.
People do that with my motorbike.
Yeah, but because of the engine, not because of the weird grinding sound. It's not a grind, more of a high-pitched scream, you know?
Oh, I know. Look at Mikey. Before this descends into madness, we need to go.
Yeah.
If he gets the bit between his teeth, it won't fucking stop.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, you people are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this show. We have overrun by a lot simply because we started super late. We'll be back tonight at 7:30 with Gloomspite versus... Stop it.
No,
Stop it.
Ramble, he's taking the World War II scenic route. Spain, Austria, Czech, Poland, France. He'll get there.
So we'll see you tonight for the live game of AoS. It's our favourite game right now. Chat, so come hang out with us. Thank you so much for joining us, you beautiful people. Anything you want to say, Jay, before we disappear?
I've had a wonderful time.
Have you?
And welcome everyone that's new.
Welcome's a bit late, mate. We're finishing.
I'm really hungry and I'm really tired.
I know.
Yeah.
Should I order us some food in?
Pizza?
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, have a wonderful time.